Good morning, everybody. So today we're trying to get as much firewood cut as we possibly can, and it needs to be 10 inches long because the new fireplace takes an 11-inch log by 8-inch. So I didn't want to spend $15, so I'm going to try to make a little magnet that I can stick on my chainsaw to measure out that 10 inches, so I can just zip, 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 go as fast as I can. So I ran into Harbor Freight this morning and got a magnet, 2-inch magnet, and a metal zip tie. And I'm going to use the Gorilla Glue to glue the zip tie through the magnet base. So we'll see if this works. Ooh, my friend Jen is here. She's going to help us cut firewood. So I didn't actually take a picture of it. I'll have to do that a little bit later so you guys can see how it finished, but it worked fantastic. It made marking these logs really fast, and we didn't have to try to deal with holding a stick up or paint or measuring with a tape measure. As you can see, I just zipped right along. I marked the logs and then Jen cut through them all the way. This pile of logs have actually been sitting here for a couple of years, and so they're really dry. This is going to be really seasoned, good firewood for this season, so I'm pretty excited about it. This small pile, I have another pile very much like this pile that I need to get through, and so I'll have a lot of rounds this year, so I'm thinking we'll do really well as far as heat. And then I had a few big logs that were actually meant for the sawmill, but they got set over here and we already busted into them for firewood year before last. So we're finishing cutting them up. These were just put down whenever we cleared this area. Pretty bummed that I didn't get to put them on the sawmill, but I'm glad that we're going to use them. So unfortunately, when we have a place that's just kind of sitting open that we cleaned out, and ends up getting stuff put in it. So Kira cleaned everything out of the soon-to-be firewood shed. Now this is a 10 by 20 carport that I got from Costco. And the plan is to just put some pallets down on the floor and 4 feet up the sides, and we're just going to toss all of the firewood in there. Not even be concerned about stacking it nicely, just get it tossed in there. So the new fireplace that I got is very small. It's for 750 square feet, which is going to be really good for my space since it's under, I think we're right around 600 square feet. But it takes much smaller logs. They need to be 10 inches. And this ended up being just a beautiful day. So my friend Jen and I were talking on the phone. Now Jen and I were stationed in the military together, and there's a whole group of us and we're all still, friends. And she lives a couple of hours away, and we were chatting about something that I did in Texas with a friend of mine, where one day a month I would go to her house and we would do whatever either project she was doing or spring clean or bulk cook. That was another thing that we did. And then she would come over to my house and we would do the same thing. And it was really awesome to have somebody over to help keep you motivated to do the work. And so we're doing that. So Jen said she wanted to come over first, so she came over and we did firewood because that's what we were doing. She showed up with her chainsaw and, off we went, and it was fantastic. I do have to say that it felt like I'd been sitting on the couch all summer and then went out and did this job. I don't know why my body hurts so much after this day. And Kira said hers did too because of all the raking and stuff, which was really funny because we work hard. We've been working hard all summer. I just didn't feel like I should be hurting that much, but all the bending over and stuff. So we had stopped for lunch and then came back and my chainsaw would not start. And I don't know why, because this is a new chainsaw. But it was just super frustrating because when you're ready to work and then your chainsaw doesn't work. So we were able to get Jen started. She continued to cut through these bigger logs, and I just started chunking the cut pieces over into a pile. Now we're going to come back and we're going to split. So the plan is get everything cut into as many rounds as we can. And then we're just going to bring the splitter over and we're going to just start splitting as much as we possibly can. And then we'll probably put the bucket on the skid steer, fill up the bucket, and then just drive it back as close as we can to the firewood shed and dump it in there. And, you know, so we're messing with the logs the least amount as possible. So one of the things that we do have, we pick up free pallets any opportunity that we can. There's a lot of things that you can do with them around the farm. And even though they are a bit of an eyesore and have kind of been in the way, they worked out perfect for this project. I didn't have to go anywhere. I really do think that we have enough and we'll be able to do this whole floor and, like I said, the 4-foot sides. And I think with the area that we have, I'm thinking I'll be able to put 5 cords of firewood in there. I am kind of hoping that we don't use 5 cords of firewood and that we'll have firewood for next year. And then I'll be able to actually kind of tuck my generator in here for the winter time to keep it out of the weather. And, you know, if it's snowing or raining or whatever, I won't have to be standing in that in order to start the generator or put gas in it or anything like that. So we'll see how that works out. Come on, kitten. Come on down. Come on down. Okay, we have some really bad thunder and lightning happening. It's supposed to start raining. She got chased up the tree by a friend's dog. And she has not come down. We have a severe thunderstorm getting ready to happen. I'm going to see if I can get her. I've got the ladder. You guys, I don't think you can watch. Come on, kitty, kitty, kitty. Come on, kitty, kitty. I'm gonna try duct taping this bucket to this pole and then see if we can get it up there for her to climb into. Big honey. Come on. But I've got to put you guys up because it's raining. I'll let you know how it goes. Come on, girlie. Come on. Come on. Kitty, 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 kitty. Come on. Come on. Come on. You gotta trust me. Can you grab this? You're gonna have to come down then on your own. Okay. Close to it. Put your foot down. You've got like an inch. There you go. She's saved. Rescued. Hey, you. Oh, are you so scared? You're like, I don't want to look at the camera. I'm embarrassed. Oh, good stuff. She's purring. All right. Let's go watch our show. The rain is coming. Freedom! So it's supposed to rain basically all night long. So we got as much firewood cutting as we could get done, showered, realized the cat was still in the tree. We're gonna go ahead and call it a night. So see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Kira and her pigs. So since Kira's leaving and won't be back till February, she is going to get in the shade so you guys aren't blocked. There we go. She's going to separate them so that he can't breed the girls until we're ready. So we're gonna put them together when they will make it to where they have babies in February, if that makes sense. So that's kind of the plan. And the girls are acting like they're coming into heat. He's definitely interested in Ginger. What you doing, stinky boy? Huh? What you doing? Hi. Oh, you so cute. Hi, Gingers. Hi, Gingers. You so cute, mamas. They're cleaning this space up really good. It'd be real nice if we could get this tree moved and then just kind of start them and move them along and let them clear out and dig holes and such. Hi, guys. Hi, Phoebe. Hi. Oh, I got myself a shock. The fence works. Ouch.
I bet I should have called out.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be started. Because that would be nice to start it right here and just start moving this direction. Because eventually this whole space will be garden. So having them do some of the work for a little while. But once they're together to be breeding, they'll all be able to be together and be in there because the goats and such will be moved. At least that's the plan. Hi, baby. Hi, good girl. We're super easy to find. We found Kelly. How's my face dirty? What have I done today?
Mess with birds.
To make my face dirty. My hands are dirty. Crap. All right. We're here. We're coming to the garlic festival to get our garlic. So garlic is one thing that I'm absolutely planning this year for next year's garden. You plant it early if you're not aware. We'll plant it here probably in October, and then it will stay in the ground all winter long and then sprout up in the spring. I ended up getting a hardneck garlic because I really like the scapes, and so I'm really excited about that. This festival was so cute. It was, you know, just a group of people that are selling things that are homemade and stuff like that, and they had a food truck, and it was really fun running into everybody that I knew from church. I did expect it to be bigger, but it was awesome. The cats have figured out how to get under the decking part. Man, you can't even get up here and like touch anything. This is all over your face. Well, I'm back from the garlic festival. We had a lot of fun. That was a cute little festival. Got a pound of hardneck garlic for the garden that we got to get planted this fall. And I'm really excited. I'm going to plant all of it because I really like garlic. So I'd like to have as much garlic as I possibly can. And I would like to get a few different kinds. I only got one kind this particular go around, but next year I think I'm going to try to get a variety package. So it was a lot of fun. Ran into a whole lot of ladies from church, and it was just a good time. So I've got this little bit to finish. I'm going to get on that so that I can get back to some firewood cutting. I actually have some limbs off of a really big tree that I think will make really good rounds, and I think I might go work on that a little bit. We've got the small section to finish that Jen and I did not get finished the other day, and I have this tree to knock down. So this one is dead standing. And it has been for a couple of years, so it is dry and ready to burn. So I think I'm going to try to drop it going towards the lake, and it won't hit anything. It'll be completely out of the way, as long as it doesn't get caught up in those branches. So maybe I'll have Victor come over with the skid steer or something, and we can push it out. Make sure it goes that direction. But I definitely like to get that tree cut up. It's been worrying me with the wind and it being dead and stuff, so I would like to get it cut up. But I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to get this done so that I can mark this deck top off of the list. I do have the 3x3s for the railing, so we may get those, start prepping those, and just get set up to then put the wire up. But I think it's not the priority right now because this area is not a priority for us to hang out in. But I do want to get it done, and since I already have the wood, might as well. It was wood for a different project of my son's, actually, that we milled last year. And so we're just going to get them. I'm just going to take them and use them. We'll remill that material later. So, yeah. So I think, what do you guys think? I think I'm going to do a post every 4 feet. This is a 10 by 40 foot deck. So if I did posts every 4 feet, it would be very simple, except for on this spot right here, right outside the treehouse, because that's going to extend over eventually. So my arm's falling asleep. Not falling asleep, just getting tired. So I can set those posts right where they're going to eventually stay and go. And then my son brought the excavator home, and I don't know for how long, but it would be really nice to hold the logs up at waist height so that I can then cut them a lot easier than on the ground, because that killed my body. And we're just going to be cutting firewood every day until we're done with firewood. So Kira's going to be working on the firewood storage shed, getting a floor done in that with pallets, and then we're just going to go up 4 feet to start. So we'll basically have a 20 foot by 10 foot by 4 foot high. How many cords of wood do you think we could fit in that? Just going up 4 foot high. We're not stacking them either. We're just chunking them in there. So this year we're just doing what we got to do. It's odd with the 10-inch pieces. Hi, kitten. All right, let's get started. So this area, actually, it's been a couple of days since I worked on this, and everything stayed really well. So I was very excited about that nothing fell in, and we even had a couple of rains. So I have a problem here. That joist that I screwed into is higher up than all of the rest, to include these over here. So the only thing I can do would be to wedge it to bring this up. So I also thought that I'd been in a pretty good straight line, but it looks like this first section that I did was maybe off a little. It'll be hidden with the railing, but still, it's kind of annoying. So I did just try to, follow these, eyeball these. This one lines up not too shabby, but you can tell that's tilted in a little. These parts that come over are all going to be trimmed off later. So I have the plywood that I can make into spacers on that. That's a pain in the rear. Can't just get up here and slam these in like I thought I was going to be able to do. I need to take those down to the table and cut them to 1.5-inch piece slices that I can then run along that board. I did not realize that was up that much taller than the rest. Luckily, it's not a huge amount. And I have the boards. I can just rip them down. They're 1/2-inch plywood. So, and then I can just screw those in with the top boards at the same time. That is something that the water could really affect, could bother in the long run kind of thing, but that's super frustrating. So my suggestion when you guys are doing this, now you're probably way better at this than I am. I've never put a deck on something like this before. And there's a lot of things that I just don't think about that I should think about, but as I build more things, I learn, and then I think about those things. So, yeah, you're going to have to make sure your top is level and equal in all manners. I did put these, as many as I could, on top of the actual hump, because it is corrugated up here, so on the hump part, so that they were raised up. Kind of thing. So they should all be sitting on that. There were a few that did not sit on that, and the taller pieces would have worked better with that. So if I would have been paying a little bit more attention at the time, to make sure that those were all even, kind of drug a board across them and see if it set level, that would have made a difference. But now I'm gonna have to, how do I fix this situation? So I definitely am learning a lot on this build, and I appreciate you guys throwing any tips and tricks that you guys know ahead of time. This has been really difficult because it's been up so high. I have built decks before, just not up this high and not on top of something, instead of building a frame and putting the deck on top of that. So lesson learned. This one's going to be a bit of a pain. I'm going to have to put some wedges underneath those. I could get some, what are you doing, silly girl? Ooh, ooh, the wind almost got you. You're so brave. The bravest kitty. The bravest kitty. All right, so I'm gonna have to take, actually I think I have some more of those. I'm just gonna use the ones that I have down there, rip into 1.5-inch strips, bring up, slap them on there. You guys, I'm not even gonna tape it. I'm just gonna slap them on there and I'm gonna start getting this decking done. I need to get this done. I've got other things that I need to do. So there's so much cleanup, and every time I'm up here I realize how much cleanup there is. I wish I would have planned better, but I am happy with the finished product. It's going to do what I need it to do, and I guess that's all that matters right now. But this was simple, but I have to say that this particular section caused me the most problems, and that was disappointing. But you know, I'm glad that this project is now done and that we can move on to the next thing that we need to do. So I'm really not pleased with this. First off, this limb needs to be cut. I keep hitting it, but it's like these lips that I have. Little things. I don't know really how to fix without just pulling all of it down. Oh, the sun's a mess. Without just pulling it all off and redoing it. And that's just not an option right now. And I really don't want it to be an option for at least a few years. So frustrating. And I don't want to do like a deck on top of a deck, like resurface the whole thing and just use this as the base or whatever. I don't even know if that's a thing, but that's pretty darn frustrating. I think eventually I'll just get over it, but you know, when you're trying to do DIY stuff, you don't want it to be worse than what a professional could do. I'm sure a professional would look at this and be like, girl, no. My first 2 8-foot sections started out really good. It's just, well, and that last section, it's just been this part really right in front of the tree house that I've really struggled with, that the joists were just different sizes. So that's a super bummer, but the positive part of this is my learning space, and it is eventually going to be just a guest or a playhouse or something, I don't know, way down the road. So it's not like this is my forever home. I do want it to be nice, but I'm really disappointed in that. I'm gonna just get it finished up. I'll show you guys the end. I'm running out of battery on my phone. So of course the last bit that you do is like the hardest. So Kira rearranged these, added another pallet. That way we had more room and we were using all the space to the best of our ability. And I really do think we're going to be able to put about 5 cords of wood in here, which will be really nice. You know, we've been really trying not to divide and conquer, but we did this week so that we can tie up all these loose ends, get these little things finished, and move on to our list of things to get started on, because the goal is the barn. But we have to get firewood done. So this is one step to that. It is. Okay, so today's a super windy day. It's Sunday. We're gonna take a break and go fly kites for the first time ever for these boys. We're excited. Look at that cool kite. It's trying. Okay, hold on to it. Oh. Woo. You don't. So watch this. Once you get out here, the kite's just gonna kind of go.
Leon, you got it out of Nè.
It's gonna get caught up in the wind and it's gonna want to kind of take off.
Ừ.
When the wind gets going, you can toss it up. Do you see how I tossed that up?
Oh, I'm gonna toss mine up.
And the more string you give it, the higher up it goes.
I'm gonna throw mine.
Okay. Here comes the wind.
Blow it.
It's gonna catch it. It's gonna catch it. There it goes.
Oh!
All right, you ready to try?
Nè.
Okay. Switch me. I'll record you. Yeah, to hold on to that tight and don't let go of the string or you'll lose your kite. Okay, watch your string. Woo! It wrecked a little. Okay, just let your kite go. You gonna let some string out? Get it up there. Stop backing up. Go that direction. It is hilarious watching kids do something for the very first time. They just crack me up. I love these boys so much. I'm a very blessed grandma. We had a lot of fun, and these kites have been sitting around all summer long, and so I'm really glad that they came and got me and said, we want to fly kites, Grandma, and I was like, okay, because I told them the next windy day it's got to be windy, so it definitely was windy. All by yourself on that one. Liam's likes to do dives. That's good. We decided this is our favorite kite. It actually flies. I think the other one is for tricks and such. And it keeps slamming into the ground. Give it more string. Okay. I'm so glad that I took the time with the boys, and look how fantastic this looks. We are ready. We are going to put some OSB, used OSB over this so that it's a solid. I'm not worried about things falling through. And then my deck, it's done. It's done for the first layer. I still have to add railing and stuff like that, but this was what I really needed to get done. And it's given me a lot of usable space. And I really do love it. I love having it up there. You know, we've definitely come out here and sat on these chairs on the nice days and enjoyed just being up here. So definitely getting the railing up, putting some furniture out here. I see all of that happening. It'll be a lot of fun. I am gonna have to raise the height of the wood pipe, but we're working on the fireplace next week.